As the years pass, our bodies begin to whisper truths we once ignored. The mirror reflects lines that weren't there before, joints grow slower, and the energy that once seemed endless now fades sooner. It can be unsettling to realize that this body, once strong and certain, is no longer under our full command. Yet the Stoics remind us that our body was never truly ours to control. It is on loan from nature, a vessel that changes with time's gentle yet unrelenting touch. To resist this truth is to resist life itself. Peace begins when we stop fighting what was always meant to change. There is a quiet dignity in acknowledging that the body is not failing, but transforming. The strength we once had in muscle now finds its form in patience, and the beauty of youth matures into the grace of acceptance. Stoicism teaches that virtue lies not in appearance, but in character, not in how the body looks, but how the soul endures. When we see aging as nature's art rather than a loss, the mirror becomes a friend again. The marks of time are not scars but stories, and every wrinkle is a memory written in courage. Pain often arrives uninvited in later years, reminding us of our mortality. We may feel betrayed by the body that once carried us freely, but in those moments of discomfort, a deeper lesson waits. That peace is not the absence of pain, but the calm acceptance of it. Marcus Aurelius wrote that pain is neither unbearable nor eternal if we accept it as part of nature's design. When we greet pain not with anger but with understanding, it loses its sharpness. The body aches, but the mind can still remain serene. This is the quiet strength of Stoic peace. We are told by society to chase youth, to cling to it as though aging were a failure. But what if we chose instead to release that grip? To let the years flow through us as a river flows to the sea, neither rushing nor resisting. Seneca once said that life is long enough if you know how to use it. So perhaps the goal is not to remain young, but to grow wise, to trade the speed of youth for the depth of understanding, to smile gently at what once was, knowing that nothing was ever meant to stay. The Stoics often spoke of the dichotomy of control, what is within our power and what is not. The aging of the body lies firmly in the latter. We cannot command time to stop, nor order ourselves to renew. But we can control our response to these changes. We can choose calm instead of complaint, gratitude instead of grief. When the body slows, the mind can still awaken. When the muscles weaken, the heart can still grow strong. True peace begins when we master what remains within us. There's something liberating about realizing that perfection was never the goal. The Stoic path is not about becoming flawless, but becoming free. Free from comparison, from fear, from the desperate need to appear youthful in a world obsessed with appearances. When we stop measuring our worth by how we look or what we can do, we uncover a deeper sense of self, one untouched by time. The soul does not wrinkle, and in that truth, we find rest. Illness, fatigue, and fragility are not punishments. They are teachers. They remind us to slow down, to listen more deeply to what the moment asks of us. Epictetus, who himself was disabled, taught that even when the body is restrained, the mind remains free. If our limbs falter but our thoughts remain clear, we have lost nothing essential. Peace lives in how we see, not in what we can do. The body may weaken, but wisdom strengthens when nurtured with patience. It's easy to grieve the loss of what once was, the long walks, the easy breath, the simple grace of motion. Yet grief, too, can be a teacher. It humbles us. It invites us to gratitude for what we still have. Every sunrise we witness, every conversation we share, every quiet moment of reflection. These are gifts that no decline can erase. Gratitude softens the sorrow of loss, and in that softness, peace quietly enters. There are days when we feel frustration rise, when the body will not obey the will. The Stoic way is not to deny the frustration, but to notice it, breathe through it, and release it. Emotion, like pain, is natural. It is our reaction that determines our peace. When we catch ourselves in irritation and return gently to acceptance, we practice mastery over the self. The body may resist, but the mind can choose stillness. Every breath is a chance to begin again. We often think of aging as a descent, but perhaps it is an ascent, not of the body, but of the spirit. The outer form may diminish, but the inner light grows clearer. Each passing year strips away illusions and leaves only what is real: kindness, understanding, and peace. The Stoics would remind us that nothing truly good is lost, only transformed. What fades in strength can bloom in wisdom. What fades in speed can deepen in stillness. When the world moves faster and our bodies slower, it can feel as though we've been left behind. But perhaps this slowing is an invitation, a call to live more presently, to savor what the young rush past, to sit in the quiet morning light and feel the world breathe with us, to find joy not in doing, but in being. Time has not taken from us. It has given us the chance to finally notice. Peace waits not in the next thing, but in this very moment. There is beauty in simplicity, especially as we age. We no longer need to prove ourselves or seek approval in endless pursuits. The Stoic way is to live with less noise, fewer distractions, and more intention. To care deeply but calmly. To choose what matters and release what doesn't. In this simplicity, we find clarity, and in clarity, peace. The fewer things we cling to, the more space there is for serenity to bloom. The fear of death often grows as the body weakens, but Stoicism offers a gentle antidote. Remember that death is natural, not tragic. It is the continuation of the same order that brought us into being. We came from nature and will return to it. The waves do not mourn when they rejoin the sea. When we see life as a cycle, not a sentence, our fear begins to fade. To live without fear is the truest form of peace. When you wake in the morning with stiffness or pain, remember that this too is part of the rhythm of being alive. The Stoics teach us to begin each day with gratitude, not complaint. You can say to yourself, this body, though slower, still carries me. These hands, though wrinkled, still create. Each small act of appreciation strengthens the spirit. Gratitude turns aging from a burden into a blessing, and the morning becomes gentler when met with a thankful heart. We often compare ourselves to who we once were, faster, stronger, more vibrant. But comparison is the thief of peace. The Stoic mind focuses not on who we were, but on who we are becoming. Every stage of life has its own form of excellence. The youth may have strength, but the elder has understanding. To honor who you are today is to live wisely. Peace comes when you stop wishing to be someone you were and start embracing who you are. Even as the body declines, our capacity for love remains and often deepens. We learn to love not through passion, but through presence. We love more quietly, more fully, more freely. The Stoics valued love rooted in virtue, not desire, a love that seeks goodness in others, not possession. This kind of love does not fade with age, it grows. For as long as the heart beats, it can still give, still forgive, still be kind. And that, too, is peace. Change, though uncomfortable, is the essence of existence. To resist change is to resist life itself. The Stoics remind us that we are part of a larger flow. Every cell, every breath, every heartbeat moves in harmony with the cosmos. Our task is not to fight the current, but to move gracefully within it. The body may change, but the soul learns to dance differently. Peace is not found in stopping the river, but in learning to float. Solitude becomes more frequent in later years, and sometimes it feels heavy. But solitude, when accepted, transforms into stillness. The Stoics valued solitude as a time to converse with one's soul, to realign with reason and virtue. In silence, we discover that we are never truly alone. We are accompanied by our thoughts, our memories, and the quiet pulse of life itself. Stillness is not emptiness. It is presence in its purest form. There are moments when the world seems to move on without us. When technology evolves faster than our hands can follow, and trends feel foreign to our hearts, it can be tempting to feel irrelevant or forgotten. But the Stoic mind reminds us that our worth has never depended on speed or novelty. Wisdom, compassion, and presence are timeless currencies that never lose value. Each generation may walk faster, but few walk with awareness. Let your slower steps be deliberate ones, grounded in meaning rather than motion. The world does not need you to keep up. It needs you to stay grounded. As the years unfold and the body continues its quiet transformation, remember that peace is not found in resisting time, but in befriending it. Life's seasons there is a wisdom in surrender, not the surrender of defeat, but of trust. To trust that nature knows what it's doing, even when we do not. To surrender control is not to give up, but to give in to the gentle guidance of something larger than ourselves. This surrender brings peace deeper than victory. For when you stop struggling against what is, you begin to float in what was always meant to be. And finally, when the body changes, when life slows and the world feels different, remember this: peace was never outside of you. It has always lived quietly within, waiting for your stillness to find it. The Stoics did not seek to escape life's challenges, but to live within them gracefully. When the body changes, let the soul remain calm. For in calmness, we return to ourselves, and in that return, we find peace.